Alright, we have a battle here between myself and Raced. Just having a bit of fun with our builds, both of us taking something a little more peppy, a little less sweaty. We'll get in there. Now, mine actually did have some history behind it. I hadn't tried it before, but I have been losing a lot with my normal greenskin type build versus Warriors of Chaos if they had just like hard box blob around like Festus and Chosen and stuff. So I thought maybe Grimgor and a Rogue Idol could break that up. We have 5 goblins, Grimgor Ironhide with Your Next, Stand Your Ground, and Foe Seeker. We have a giant rogue tribe with only Spirit Leech, and the Rogue Idol for a bit of leadership, but also just clearing out tons of armored infantry. 5 goblin archers in case of a giant or a blob. Just I thought the mass amount of archers would be good for me. And we have the 8 peak loons for a spinny spin through a blob, and 4 squig herds, and the Crimson Killers Black Orcs for a little bit of fun, just to have a good day. On the other side, we do have Chaos Chariots with Mither thrown onto them, so they're going to go down pretty quickly. A Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch up on his disc with pink and blue fires. We have the Demon Spew Forsaken, Marauders. Marauders are great weapons, Marauders. 2 Chaos Knights with Lances, 1 Chaos Warrior with Halberd, 2 Marauder Horsemasters, and Kholek, Mother Flippin' Sun Eater, who plows straight through some goblins. He's doing good. Now this guy, the Chaos Chariot, did overstay a little bit, so he immediately gets surrounded by Squigs and the River Troll Hag, and I did throw the slow on him earlier, so that Chaos Chariot is probably about dead, as the Rogue Idol joins some goblins in some good slap-in content. And the archers are just pouring their fire into Marauders. Now, obviously, we didn't get the blob build we were expecting, so I'm a little off-kilter, not super sure what to be doing with my time here. I throw Grimgor at Kholek Sun Eater, and with Your Next on him, his melee defense is pitiful, and his melee attack is negligible, considering Grimgor with Stand Your Ground has 79, now down to 69 melee defense. The Rogue Idol's even going to try to swing at Kholek. It somehow misses, but Grimgor gets a nice hit in from behind. So that's going well. Chaos Knights diving down the middle as the Squigs join the fight across the front line. And here we're going to have our first big spinning loon. Does it go through the Halberds and the Demon Spew? I believe it does, if I remember correctly. There it is. Spinning right through him, doing some pretty good damage before the goblins themselves join the fight. So it's been a good start for me. The Tzeentch caster, meanwhile, his pink fire did push off 2 of my archers so far, which is really annoying from my perspective. Awa is out. The Rogue Idol does some more damage to these halberds that are surrounding him while he was trying to hit Kholek. Kholek has Star Crusher active, and he is wailing on my Rogue Idol. He's already down to half HP-ish. Another Spirit Lich comes out this time onto Kholek. Trying to snipe out that Lord, though. He is a tanky bastard, and I think Grimgor is having some issues actually finding him. In the backfield, Rampaging Goblins and Squigs get run down by Chaos Knights, and we have Marauder Horsemasters nearby, going to push them off pretty soon. The River Troll Hag is stumbling and bumbling over towards this Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, who's trying to get off the ground before she gets there, and he does. But the Crimson Killer is getting a fight with Chaos Knights Lances, I'm sure, has gone pretty well for me. Greenskins are up on the balance power. I would tend to agree at this moment. Rogue Idol continues to fight alone versus the Demon Spew and Kholek. He's generally happy fighting whatever, as long as he gets some hits in, which it looks like he misses Kholek for like the 90th time. Chaos Knights with Lances. Now, this Greenskin build does lack any form of mobility, really, so these Chaos Knights and the Marauder Horsemasters can just run around and take care of my archers at their leisure. So I'm not bothering to protect them. Instead, I'm just letting my archers shoot at stuff. A pink fire takes out 2 of them for standing too close together. The Rogue Idol does a big clap, wrecking down the Demon Spew, and Grimgor continues to fight Kholek, just following this man around the map wherever he can. For Chaos, most of their infantry have taken a lot of damage. Their Chaos Knights have also taken a lot of damage. Their Skirmish Cav are doing fine and have a good amount of ammo left. Spirit Leeches are being reserved for the cavalry now. Since I know I can't really fight them, I can clear out almost infinite infantry. I can't find the cavalry if I wanted to, unfortunately. Kholek does chuck down his Tempest or something. I don't know, it was a Lightning Bolt, but the Crimson Kills didn't seem to take too much damage from it. The River Troll Hag is getting sniped out at this moment. Rogue Idol's rampaging, I can't control him, but Grimgor could sure as hell do what he needs to. Mither slowing Kholek down to 30 speed, while Grimgor attempts to catch up, but he cannot. Though he did save the River Troll Hag, so who's really that upset about it? Goblin Archers getting run off the field wherever they can be found. The Rogue Idol still rampages further away from Grimgor. The River Troll Hag, the Crimson Killers, and Grimgor are going to chase something they can actually find rather than Kholek and a bunch of horsemen. So Crimson Killers will make short work of the Marauders, cleave through those little guys so swiftly. And we do have a moment here where both sides will be regrouping just a little bit. Chaos Warriors and Halberds are run down by the 8 peak loons. Rogue Idol stops rampaging at last. He comes back. I throw a quick Spirit Leech onto the Marauder Horsemaster with more ammunition, trying to save my Rogue Idol, but he's getting very low, and he returns to the fold. My opponent, in the meantime, is just chasing down a bunch of Goblin Archers, doesn't want them coming back and poking at him, so we're both in a bit of a holding pattern. I continue to Spirit Leech the Marauder Horsemasters while we reform lines, and the Rogue Idol eventually gets killed entirely by those Skirmish Cav. 7 volleys left on that extremely wounded person, while Grimgor and the rest of my infantry group up a bit. Do have some tattered troops in the side that'll keep rallying and disappearing as the game goes on, but everything that's going to matter is going to be in front of you here. Blue Fire on the Crimson Killers does a good amount of damage. Another Spirit Leech onto those Marauder Horsemasters, trying to get them to rout so they don't count as attacking anymore. My opponent has to actually fight me in melee. Chaos Knight's going to charge down some Goblins, but Grimgor is here to meet their charge. And they actually lost their attack orders there, so they are just standing around. Kholek dives back in. Your next is on him, giving him 36-6 for melee stats. If Grimgor can land any convincing hits on him, that'll be brutal. More Chaos Knights are charging in, but we have the Unbreakable 8-Peak Loons powered up with a Wah and a Stand Your Ground, and the Crimson Killers with a Stand Your Ground. Though they're not unbreakable, they are rather elite. Another Spirit Leech on these Chaos Knights. I know they're going to cycle charge in and out and in and out, so I just want to get whatever guaranteed damage on them I can. Meanwhile, Kholek is standing right next to Grimgor, and Grimgor is showing a bit of his problems. Grimgor has issues as an infantry character fighting large-sized things, because he has issues finding them in a fight. If there's like even one infantry model between him and Kholek, he can't swing, which is a big problem for him as a duelist. Still up on the balance of power, though. As far as the Greenskins go, they have a ton of Spirit Leeches left at this point. I remember that. I was like, I have like 40 Winds of Magic in the bank. I'm just trying to throw Spirit Leech out whenever I get enough Winds of Magic to do so. The 40 being like in reserve, not like available to me immediately. Chaos Knight's getting low, Kholek getting low. Their caster is very healthy, but he's probably running low in Winds of Magic considering all the blue and pink fires he's chucked out this game. And this isn't the Tzeentch roster, this isn't Kairos, so he doesn't get nearly as much Winds of Magic as his brethren do. Demon's Spew shatter. More Marauders are routing. Chaos Knight's fighting for a bit. Kholek charges back in, and Grimgor is going to try and find him once more. Another Spirit Leech out onto the healthier of the Chaos Knights. But a Blue Fire paired with a Kholek charge does bring the River Troll Hag down to about half leadership. And her leadership's the important part. If her leadership dips, she is a Troll-type unit, right? If her leadership dips enough, she will just be run off the map. Doesn't really matter how healthy she is. Knights are back in. Grimgor, his Crimson Killers, and the 8-Peak Loons are continuing to fight. A rear charge in from the Tzeentch caster onto the River Troll Hag lowers her leadership down to 10. And Kholek is coming in to add to that charge. Stand Your Ground gives her a ton of leadership, though, and 56 melee defense, trying to help her out. She's still taking big shots. So are these Chaos Knights. Now, this full health cavalry unit is a Marauder Horsemaster that is out of ammunition, so it's a skirmish cav that has seen better days. And Stand Your Ground is like the only thing keeping the Crimson Killers and the River Troll Hag in this fight. Grimgor and the River Troll Hag get a couple big shots on the Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch. Last, the Crimson Killers rout. River Troll Hag takes a nasty shot, and Kholek standing around ominously behind her. He is going to charge in now. Her leadership falters, her leadership fails. She even terror routes and is going to naturally route. So no more Spirit Leeches for the Greens because they fall behind on the balance of power, and it is down to just Grimgor. Another Yo next lowers Kholek's stats. And Grimgor tries to get a hit onto him, but it does not look like he is able to. Instead, he's surrounded by Knights, so now he's just swinging at anything that's nearby. Quick Blue Fire from the Tzeentch caster doesn't do much damage to him. I think it was blocked by other horsemen. He goes back to fighting Marauders. Some Goblins try to rejoin the fight, then they shatter. Grimgor fights these Marauders for a bit. Tzeentch caster charges back in. Grimgor takes out his shields, and then gets pushed off. Grimgor gets charged by Kholek, does good damage back to Kholek. Both sides take a lot of damage and move on. Tzeentch caster hovers directly above Grimgor, giving leadership to nearby stuff. Kholek charges back in, hits him in the face, runs away. Grimgor continues to fight the Marauder Horsemasters that actually have ammunition. Them and the Marauders are almost dead. Kholek charges in, gets a Your next, takes a big shot to the face, takes another one, and then starts to run away. And meanwhile, the Tzeentch caster is hitting poor Grimgor in his little green bald head. Marauder Horsemaster's almost dead. Kholek runs in. Kholek gets smacked in the face and starts to run away. He's at -6 leadership. At 300 health, he should be able to come back. Balance power is getting very danger low against Grimgor. Marauder Horsemasters trying to throw while in melee. Doesn't look like it's going well for them. Chaos Knights and more Marauder Horsemasters are here. Where's the other Chaos Knight? Is it dead? Must have run off the map. Tzeentch caster is back in, fighting poor little Grimgor. Grimgor has more... Okay, now they have very similar HP. He's just down to a lower percentage, but his actual HP is ahead of that of the caster. So Grimgor is killing it. Foeseeker is popped, trying to give him a little bit more muscle. Kholek's at 0 leadership, running away. We'll check back in on him later. Grimgor continues to fight a whole bunch of horsemen. Balance power is getting worse and worse for him as he kills more and more things. He's going to rout off these Marauders. Kholek continues to run away, and the Marauders shatter, leaving less forces than ever before to deal with Grimgor. Grimgor's running after some Marauder Horsemasters while the other ones just shoot him in the butt, and he's going to go fight some Marauders now. Kholek is still not rallying at 0 leadership. He's going to go off into the woods. It looks like that might be his home forevermore. Marauders are surrounding Grimgor. Grimgor's balance of power is staying about where it is. Kholek is almost off the field. And when he goes off, things will get very bad. So, Kholek's off the field. They lost their lord. The bounce power gets no better for Grimgor. Marauders rout. Marauder Horsemaster's rout. The bounce power gets a little better for Grimgor, but not much. We have an almost dead, barely clinging to anything Chaos Knights with Lances, a half-health Marauder Horsemaster. They all charge in on Grimgor. Your next is popped on the Zinch Caster yet again. Foeseeker gives Grimgor some vigor to keep him in this fight. Grimgor's at 1800 HP. The Zinch Caster's also at 1800. Grimgor continues fighting. He takes 100 HP worth of damage. 200 HP worth of damage total. And he continues fighting for now. The balance power is still quite low, but he's hanging on for what it's worth. 300 HP. He still has 1,500 on him. 1,700 on the Zinch Caster. Zinch Caster's going to dive in. Grimgor hits the Zinch Caster, taking out his shields and 100 HP. The Zinch Caster hits him for 150 HP. The balance of power is like that. And it says, never mind, Grimgor can't win it with army losses coming in. These Marauder Horsemaster's leadership is faltering super bad. So are these Chaos Knights with Lances, and the Zinch Caster has no winds of magic left and 1/4 HP. But the game is like, you know what? Grimgor has killed everything up until this point. He can't possibly kill anymore, and army losses him. Even though I maintain to this day, I actually think he was about to win the entire game. 3,100 for our boy Grimgor, only 1,000 for the Rogue Idol. Crimson Kill is only 750. River Troll Hag did fine. AP Gloons did fantastically. The Goblins got mostly run down for not having any mobile pressure to keep them alive at all, and Goblins and Squigs did great. On the other side for Raced, Kholek did honestly well for Kholek. I'm shocked he ran all the way off the map, but okay. Chaos Knights with Lances did well at running all my Goblins down. The Zinch Caster did fantastically. Marauder Horsemasters did fantastically. Chariots and basic Marauders mostly got cucked. So, GG. Roar! Subscribe, yes, yes.